I'm also going to be talking to you about my journey losing 40 pounds over the course of the past year. Yeah. Hot girl walks in the video so you can see. Yeah. Maybe I'll take y'all on one with me soon. Only if you're nice. Let's make it rain. It's your girl, Tammy Trains. What is up, trainees? Today, I'm gonna be showing you how I make one of my new favorite meals for a high protein, low calorie, I said it right this time, high protein, low calorie lifestyle. I'm also gonna be talking to you about my journey losing 40 pounds over the course of the past year. Specifically, 20 something of that being over the course of the last, well, I can't even say the last 3 months really, because I don't think I hit it. Yeah, I hit the additional 20 pounds in February. Yeah. So not specifically the last 3 months, go back up to February, right? But we're still losing. I stepped on the scale and I lost another pound today, so I'm very happy about that. I am like this close to Wonderland, y'all. This close. But for so long, my mantra has been, I heard somebody else say this, you gotta be something to do something. And I was like, that sounds great, but like, I'm trying to leave the twos behind. I try to move forward. Yeah. Okay, so let's chit chat while we talk about a few things that were very helpful. And what I will do is make a longer, more detailed video with an even bigger list, but I'm just gonna talk about the top 5 things that I did today. So, number 1, drink more water. Hold up.
A few minutes later.
Glug. Whew. Oh man, that was necessary because I am in one of the hottest parts of California and I just came back from a hot girl walk. And I'm pretty famished, pretty thirsty. That was necessary. What I also do to make sure I drink more water is I drink tea. So here's my little kettle, my thermos that I use, right? And I promise I'm still here. I just turned around and put my stuff down. The thing that I love about tea is it's a diuretic. So with tea being a diuretic, right, it's like, yeah, you're getting your hydration in. It's also going to make you go to the bathroom more. It'll flush out your system and it'll help relieve constipation, which is one of the biggest barriers to weight loss. So if you see those like YouTube videos that are like, oh, like, did you know the ads that say, like, do you know that humans have an average of 5,000 pounds of toxic, I don't want to say the word, toxic crap like in their systems, right? Like, you're like, dang, like, is this real? I don't know if it's that much, but like, yeah. There is a lot in our systems that I think we hold on to that needs to be flushed out. So drinking water and tea specifically helps to do that. I try to do a lot of herbal tea. I only do green tea and black teas in the morning because I have a history of chronic insomnia. So I try to drink herbal tea throughout the remainder of the day. I'll start drinking something like chamomile even as early as like 3 p.m. and then I'll have that like every 3 hours. So I'll have it like 3 or 4 p.m. then again at like 6, 7. 6, 7. So I just try to make sure I get my water in, right? So that's number 1. Number 2, I consume high protein, low calorie foods, right? So that is what I'm gonna be doing here today. I'll be showing you a recipe. I'm gonna be making some nachos, some chicken nachos using some protein chips. These are by Simple Truth Organic. These are tortilla chips with 10 grams of protein per serving and only 7 grams net carbs. In that 10 grams of protein, or in that one serving, you get 10 grams of protein, and then it's 140 calories. So roughly 10 chips, 140 calories. What I might do is have, I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna have a second serving of the chips, because I feel like 10 is a little bit low, and I haven't eaten a whole lot today, and I'm feeling kind of hungry. And like I said, coming in from out of that heat, I'm pretty famished. I feel weak. So I need some sustenance. All right. So high protein, low calorie. I get most of my protein from food. So I'm actually going to be using, and this is a huge meal plan or meal prep tip. Y'all, when y'all go to these events, like I know it's summer, we're going to be outside, right? I went to a baby shower, right? Go with an open mind and some open arms to receive the gifts that you'll be receiving, right? Like, and they will come in like unlikely packages. Because here's the thing, people go to events assuming like, oh, I'm gonna go to this birthday party, this graduation party, this baby shower, this wedding, and I'm going to give gifts. Often the celebrants are trying to give away the things that they used to plan the party or whatever event it was once the party winds down, right? Like once the event's over, they're like, all right, like what am I gonna do with all this extra chicken? So, yo, my homegirl slid me this for my little meal prep, right? Some diced chicken, diced grilled chicken. I was like, this is great, because they had a taco bar. I was like, I'll use that in my chicken nachos throughout the week, right? So high protein, low calorie, had the protein chips, had the chicken. Another example is Greek yogurt, right? Very high protein, low calorie. Okay. Another thing that I do or have done and found very helpful with my 40-pound weight loss is walking. Yeah. So I'm gonna put a couple of clips of my hot girl walks in the video so you can see. Yeah. Maybe I'll take y'all on one with me soon. Only if you're nice. Yeah. So going outside for hot girl walks, making sure that I soak up the sun. Right? That's a big thing I've tried to do. Honestly, here's the thing. You know when this really started? I had hernia surgery at the end of January. When I had my hernia surgery at the end of January, I was like, what is I'm going to do?
Oh my God.
I can't exercise. I'm literally still to this day, like I have not been cleared to go back to the gym or to run. And y'all know I have a history of being a long distance runner. I ran my third half marathon in October of last year. Too much water. Can you ever have too much water? I don't know. Yeah, supposedly like you can drown your organs. I don't know. Going back to the point about water, I almost forgot to mention. I try to do 100 ounces a day. I know people are like, half your body weight, drink a gallon. There's so much literature out there. I try to get as close to 100 ounces a day as I can. So something like this has, what is it, 64 ounces, right? I try to drink like 1 or 2 of these per day. Maybe what I do actually is I'll try to drink 1 of these, and then I'll try to have my tea 2 to 3 times a day. So maybe I am getting well over. Yeah, because my tea thermos, this is actually a 24-ounce thermos. I probably fill it about 20 ounces of the way each time. So 2 of these 20/40. One of the big green jugs is 64, right? Let's say 40 ounces. So that gets me to like 104 ounces, right? And some days are rough and I have even more tea because I really need to stay calm. And I've been drinking my chamomile tea, boy. Whew. I think, like, honestly, I am such a tea junkie. It's insane. I always say I'm so obsessed with tea. That's why my name starts with the letter T. Yeah, so I really like tea. I will carry packets of herbal tea. Look at my wallet. Look at my Kate Spade wallet, right? In the back of my Kate Spade wallet, I have a packet of chamomile tea, like just in case, right? Just in case I happen to go somewhere and I have a tea emergency. That was great. I should coin that. Get it? Coin, wallet, tea emergency. All right, at this point, if you haven't done so already, you know I'm funny. So comment, like, share, subscribe, join the tribe. Yeah, drinking lots of water. Where was I? I was talking about drinking water, high protein, low calorie. Back to the protein point, I try to consume around 100 grams of protein a day. I've been trying to step it up and do 120 grams of protein a day. On a really good day, I'll get like 130 and maybe 140 grams of protein a day. But I try to just cross the barrier of 100. So that's what I do with my protein. Same thing with the water. I try to cross the barrier of 100, get 100 ounces a day. And starting with these like smaller goals, honestly, it just makes life so much easier, so you're not overwhelmed like, oh my god, I was supposed to eat 120 grams of protein every day this week and I only had 75 on Thursday and then again on Friday. It ain't gotta be all that, sis. It ain't gotta be all that, right? Like, you'll be fine. Even if you don't reach your goals every day. I always say, shoot for the stars, even if you miss, but shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars, right?
Yes.
So shoot for the big goals, but like even if you don't reach them, like you'll still reach some of the smaller goals, right? You'll still get pretty close. Like a star is still pretty great when compared to the moon. Like if somebody was giving me a present and they said like, hey, I couldn't get you the moon, but I got you a star instead, I'd be like, dude, this is dope. Like, I'll take it. Okay, so let's get back to the third tip. Third tip was, who remembers? Man, I need some more interaction. Number 1, drink more water. Number 2, high protein, low calorie. Number 3, numero 13 was walk. So I try to walk at least 10,000 steps a day. I know it sounds cliche, and a big reason why I've been walking more is because I haven't been cleared to go back to the gym following hernia surgery. I haven't been cleared to run again following hernia surgery in January. Fingers crossed, in a couple weeks in April, my surgeon will finally clear me. But until then, honey, we're gonna walk it out, right? We're gonna be like DJ Unk and
Now walk it out.
and yeah, 10,000 steps a day. Honestly, what I try to do, and so this is what I was telling somebody. Those of us who have sedentary jobs, right? What it's really important to do is to leverage those moments when we can multitask, right? So what I will do with my job, I have a lot of clients where I have to sit down and it doesn't really make sense for me to walk and talk to them at the same time. Occasionally it works out that way, but what I try to do is I have these things called consultation calls where I don't necessarily have to be on camera and I can do them via phone. So if it's an hour-long consultation call, it's just me and my Power Beats by Dr. Dre and my Brooks sneakers and whatever outfit that lends well to this sweltering California heat. Ow! Yeah, like this one. I got my little sports bra on, right? And I will just walk. I will literally just walk. I joined a group called, on the Step Up app, I joined the Venetians group. So that's been a really great experience. It's been so encouraging to be there with so many others who are committed to the lifestyle, right? Like, shout out to the Venetians if y'all are watching this. Hey. So yeah, that's been a really great experience, just making sure to walk more. I was thinking of starting an additional running group. Look at me. Oh my God. You can tell I really miss running. Oh, I'm so sad. But honestly, taking a break from running has like really spared my toenails and helped me, like, my feet recover from all the bruising. Like, y'all ever seen that scene in Save the Last Dance where Julia Stiles is dancing and she unwraps she takes off her ballet shoes and you just see how like beat up her toes are. You're like, dang, that happens with runners too. So this period of walking has given me a nice welcome break from all that. But I was thinking of starting another walking group on Strava because I use Strava for running as well. So I'm pretty active on there as well. I was like, I might as well just expand the whole network and make it a Strava thing too. So more information on that in coming weeks. In the meantime, what point were we on? We're on point number 3. So we had drinking more water, we had high protein, low calorie, and we had walking more, right? So back to the high protein, low calorie thing. More specifically, I try to have at least 100 grams of protein a day, 100 to 120 grams of protein a day. And I try to make sure that with the foods that I'm consuming, they are at least 10%, right? At least 10% of the total caloric value comes from protein, right? So I try to make sure that, for example, it's not really the these chips aren't the best example, right? So we've got 140 calories and 10 grams of protein for one serving, which is like, you know, if it was 14 grams of protein, it would have taken us closer to our goal. The Quest tortilla chips are probably better, but I found Simple Truth Organic on a bargain, and I love this brand, so it's fine. It's fine. Okay, I also have the Greek yogurt here, right? Non-fat Greek yogurt, and I'm actually going to use this in place of sour cream in my nachos in a little bit. So this is 110 calories for how many grams of protein? Holy Lord, 2/3 cups is 18 grams of protein, 110 calories. So that's way over our 10% ratio, right? So those are two foods. I'm probably not going to eat that much sour cream though. Greek yogurt though, like to put 2/3 cups of Greek yogurt on some nachos is a little excessive, but still the ratio is going to be consistent, right? And it's better than getting 0 calories from sour cream when these two things literally taste the same way, right? It's a no-brainer. Okay, so 100 ounces of water per day, right? Drink more water. 200 grams of protein per day, eat more protein. 3, walk more, 10,000 steps per day, right? And on a good day, I'll get like 20,000 steps. So what I do is like during the week, if I'm really busy and I'm doing consultation calls, I'll like literally walk for that hour, and that'll give me, I can't even remember like specifically how many steps I'll like get in during an hour, but I know that I'll maybe do 20, 40, 60, somewhere close to 3 miles in that hour, because I'm walking almost like 22 minutes per mile, right? So a little less than 3 miles. So we can do the math later. If I figure it out, I'll put it on the screen how many steps that is for the hour-long walk. But yeah, so that number 4, sleep. Let's talk about sleep.
I'm finding it.
I'm pausing here just because this is where I'm still a work in progress. God is working on me. I'm trying so hard to lay down my burdens because I am weary and I'm seeking the Lord's rest. I'm seeking the Lord's rest.
Look what
right?
Jesus did!
So I try really, really hard to get at least 7 hours a night, right? And before I got into the trenches of grad school and practicum and all that jazz, like I was cooling it at like 9-10 hours a night sometimes. It was like, yo, I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping. I think like the summer right before school started. And then like when things got really serious, I started working full time. I was doing my old job. I was working for my grad school, and it was like, ooh, okay, 5 to 6 hours a night. And that lasted for about a year, and I burned out, and I gained a ton of weight, right? I gained like 20 pounds within the space of 7 months. And it was so sad. This was back in 2022 going into 2023. But you see that I started sleeping between 7 to 8 hours a night, right? And on the weekends, maybe I'll get 9. And I immediately started losing weight. We're back to 40 pounds within a year, right? So that is point number 4, sleep. Point number 5, medication, right? I know this is controversial because a lot of people are like, oh my God, I want to do it the natural way. So I'm like, you could drive a car with your feet if you want to, but you don't have to do it that way.
I said what I said!
It is what it is. It ain't ever what it might be. So I'm all for the girlies who want to do it the natural way. Listen, I am fully supportive. All the tips I am sharing here are my own, right? I'm not a licensed healthcare professional. All I can speak to is my own experience and hope that it is somewhat beneficial for you in your learning journey, right? Because we're all learning. But I do have to say, after 35 years on God's green earth, I have noticed that doing it myself and white knuckling it all the time, like has, paid off initially. But then I have this history of just yo-yoing and going right back to my original weight, right? So I look at medication as a tool, not a crutch, as a resource, right? And I've noticed that it has become almost like, I hate to say cheat code, but yeah, cheat code. It's like when you spend all this time going through life and doing everything by yourself, holla at me, single woman, like you get to a point where you're like, yo, do I really have to keep doing it all on my own? Do I?
No.
No, right?
No.
Like there are tools and resources right? It's like when someone has a learning disability, right? Like they will get the support that they need. Someone needs a tutor, someone needs, right, like an IEP. I used to be a teacher, right? Individualized education plan. It's not wise to just keep barreling through and trying to do it on your own without enlisting any support or any scaffolding, right? Like I look at weight loss the same way, right? People like me who have a history of obesity or being overweight, right? I was diagnosed with PCOS and prediabetes at the beginning of 2025. Yeah,
What?
I was like, what? Like who? Right? And I was doing all this running. And I was cutting my calories, and I was eating more protein. And what I was noticing, like I was beefing up, and I was developing all this muscle, but like there was still this layer of fat over it, right? So yeah, I got on the medication. It is what it is, right? I jumped on the train. And I'm so glad I finally asked for help, because here's the thing. A lot of people don't realize this. If you take the medication and do nothing, nothing will happen. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So if you take the medication and you don't do anything else, you're gonna end up in the same spot. That's my like duh voice, like my like little like duh, obviously. So when you do take the medication, right, if you choose to, and you change your lifestyle, right, of course you're gonna see the changes. Yeah. And I think for me, I was making all these lifestyle changes, but I would always go back to square one because it was almost like overload on my body, and my body went into starvation mode and would try to trap and hold on to all these calories that it didn't, that it was afraid that I would keep purging, right? And I almost feel like that was like a form of, I don't want to say like, I don't want to use eating disorder terms because I don't want to get too far down that rabbit hole. But like when I look at like what I was doing, even though I wasn't like taking it out, right, like via laxative form or like forcing myself to bring anything up, right? Like I think that over exercising was a really strange and unfair form of purging that I had been doing to my body over and over and over.
Uh-oh.
And I think that getting on medication actually helped me to like learn how to eat a normal way, in a healthier way, right? Because like what does normal actually look like? All that is subjective. In a healthier way that was much more tailored for my specific lifestyle, my unique body type, and my needs, right? My unique needs. So it was just very important for me to kind of surrender my pride and be like, hey, like let me talk to my doctor about getting some medication support. So I was on Zepbound, aka tirzepatide, from February of 2025, and I recently came off it because insurance companies won't let me be great. But I am exploring the possibility of compounded tirzepatide, so more on that later. For the past month though, I haven't been on the Zepbound and I've been taking metformin instead. I did start taking the metformin with the Zepbound back in January of this year, and I found it very, very helpful. I feel like it only accelerated what the Zepbound was doing. Okay. Right? So the Zepbound actually helped with quieting my food noises. I went from the starter dose of 2.5 at the beginning of last year all the way up to the 10 milligram dose, right? And I started feeling like, wow, this is working. So I'm just gonna keep increasing the dosage. And then here comes insurance like, girl,
Be nice.
and I was like, I'm not gonna play me like that. So compounding it is. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't decided yet, but that's what I'm looking into. In the meantime, though, like this is just a minor setback / blip on the radar, and it doesn't mean that I'm going to stop doing all the healthy things that I was doing, right? And I have a like history of perfectionism, so I'm trying really hard to give myself grace. And there are certain things that I acknowledge, like, hey, I'm still gonna struggle with from time to time, especially now that I don't have as much of the medication in my system, right? So like overeating every now and then, it happens. Every now and then I don't stick to my macros. Every now and then a Saturday comes along and I go to a baby shower and I have 2 cupcakes. I'm telling on myself. But then I brought back the chicken because I knew that I was gonna meal prep with it. All right, so if you made it this far, stay tuned for part 2 of the video, and I'm going to, or part 2 of the it's 2 videos, so I got so technical right there. That was unnecessary. Part 2 is the video right after this one, where I'll be showing you how I make one of my favorite meals using the chicken, and then what else? I'm gonna be using some romaine. Right, I'm gonna shred some romaine hearts. I'm gonna be using some tapatio hot sauce. I'm going to be using some salsa, and then I got some sliced onions also from the shower that I'm gonna top my nachos with. So I'm going to hop off and encourage you to like, comment, share, subscribe, join the tribe. I'm also on TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, so follow me, friend me, subscribe. Yeah. All right, that's it. Check out these nachos. How you like them apples? There are no apples involved. I don't know why I said that. Talk to you soon.